So number 9 in your spiral, finding slope. You're going to take the white. Let me see. You're going to take the orange, guys, in the left. On the recording, let me show you now. The orange on the left, the white piece on the right. You're going to flip the orange up. Slide the white over. Slide the white over where when you fold it down, it looks like that. You're going to glue the white on top of the orange and then fold it down and put it on page 9 in your spiral. You'll have to do it sideways. Okay, let's review the ways we can find slope. Let's review the ways we can find slope. You already learned. We've already learned. This is what we worked on Friday, is finding slope by doing what? Rise over run. Very good. So open up your foldable. Now, guys, if you have y equal, you don't need to write this down, just look up here. If we have y equals kx, what does k stand for? Constant of proportionality and unit rate, okay? Well, sometimes the relationship is not proportional. It's not going to be proportional. Do you remember on that 4-1 where we had the gallons in the tank and it wasn't proportional? And do you remember that the equation was y equals no, it was plus 30, something plus 30. Who remembers what it? Oh, I've got it right here. This one right here. Remember, it was 8. V equals 8H plus 30. Do you remember that? And the 8 was not the constant proportionality. It was the rate of change, which is also the slope. So, guys, we can't use K for the slope because sometimes it's not the constant proportionality. Only when it's proportional. Only when it's proportional. So when we have the graph here, we're going to get slope. We're going to call it M. M is going to be what our slope is now. So we're going to take 2 points on this graph. We're going to take 2 points. Let's use 0, 2. Can everybody see well enough? 0, 2. And then 2, let's use 2, 5. Those are 2 points I can clearly see on there. So on the X, when we walk, guys, looking at the X-axis, everybody looking at the X-axis, we're going from point 0 to 2, aren't we? Looking at the X, we're going from 0 to 2. How many units is that? 2. Do I want you to write the 2 on the graph? Yes. Write 2 on the graph. You're going positive 2. You're going from 0 to 2. See if I make it a little clearer. There we go. You're going from 0 to 2. That's 2 units. Then we're going, on the Y, we're going from point 2 up to point 5. So how many units is that? 3. So the slope is going to be 3 over 2, rise over run. 3 over 2, rise over run. Now, you see on your tables, I've made you the little cards. Okay, you see the little cards? So, a positive, this is a positive slope. And look, what did we get? A positive number. Positive slope, positive number. Okay, so coming down here, positive slope is going to be going up, and a negative slope is going to be coming down. Positive slope goes up, negative slope goes down. Look on your table, the little chart on your table. Can you see that? Guys, you see where it says positive, negative slope? And then show me with your hands what a 0 slope line would look like. Good. Horizontal. You're lazy. Horizontal. Lazy has a Z. Not many words have a Z. Horizontal has a Z. You're lazy. You have 0 energy. 0 energy. Horizontal has a 0 slope. Now, if it's vertical, what's the slope? What does it say it is? I know, vertical, what does it say it is? Undefined. Because, guys, you would have to divide by 0, and we can't divide by 0. So if it's vertical, it's just an undefined slope. That means there's no slope to talk about. Okay? Oh, so now, look, we're going to do something. I'm going to go ahead and show you something that works out every time. So everybody write y equals mx plus b. Write mx plus b. Who knows what the m stands for? What's the m stand for? The slope. Good. The m stands for the slope. All right. So what did we discover the slope was? Up here, 3 over 2. Now, I'm going to show y'all something cool that works every time. I'm going to show you something cool that works every time. Remember this problem right here? This problem, let's go over back to this problem right here we just talked about. V equals 8h plus 30. Where did we say that plus 30 came from? Where did we say that plus 30 came from? Everybody look. Where did the plus 30 come from? Logan, tell us. It started at the 30. This is the y-axis. So look, guys, this is the y-axis, and it started at the 30. So 0 was 30. That's what kept it from being proportional, didn't it? Everybody remember that? That big discussion on that? So, and look at what the equation was. Well, you can look here. 8h plus 30 plus 30. Because if h is 0, what's 8 times 0? 0 plus 30? 30. So it's not 0, 0, it's 0, 30. That point was. You're remembering? Is this bringing back memories? Okay. So look at this equation here. When you know, see, it's not proportional, is it? Nope, not proportional. Nope, 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 not proportional. So when you know what we're going to add or what we're going to put onto this equation, hey, let's back up just a minute. Everybody look. There's too much for us to remember. I want to make sure you get this. Just a minute, Logan. If it was proportional, we'd stop right there, wouldn't we? Because what form would it be in? Y equals KX. It's not proportional. You already told me it's not. So raise your hand when you know how we're going to finish this equation. What's going to go there? Raise your hand when you know. What's going to go right here? Alright, when I say go, you people with your hands up, tell me what you think. And some of you don't have your hand up, but I think you might have a suspicion what it is. You're thinking, you're just not, you're scared to raise your hand. So when I say go, you tell me what number you think goes here to finish this equation. Go. Yes, I heard everybody said it right except I think I heard one wrong answer. Why? Is it a +2 or a -2? Okay, you people that said +2, and there were a good many of you, tell them how you got +2. Well, that's like a plus. Yes. Okay. Well, this graph didn't start anywhere, did it? That's what was a little confusing about it. It didn't start, but what happened to it, Madison? I know you know. You just can't. Somebody want to help her? She can't get it out. She knows where to jump out. Willie, you want to come? Logan? You can't put it in yours either? Okay. No? Go, try. What? Like what you said earlier with the 88 plus 30, it's 0 plus 30. Okay, so why is this 2? Base of it, well, no, see, this is not proportional. How did y'all get 2? Huh? What's 2? No, no. Remember, that's how we got the slope, 3/2. Where did you get the +2 from? Tell us. Okay. Look, guys. Guys, where did we get the +30? Where did we get the +30? It crosses the y-axis at 30. It crosses at 30. So right here, where does this line cross? At the 2. at the 2. This line doesn't start anywhere, but it crosses the y-axis at point 02. And you were on the right track, Jay. I just knew you were about to get there. Because you said, okay, if we put 0 in for x, look, guys, if I put 0 in for x, that's 0. Plus 2 is 2. So 0, 2 is our y-intercept. It crosses the 2. Very good. Okay, now we're going to do some more of that later. Look at this table. Now we can get the slope from this table. Okay, we can get it from this table. The change in y over the change in x. That's how we got rate of change. Well, rate of change is slope. So we're going to come down here. Oh, and do y'all see something funny about this table? Well, yeah, and it can start with an x. It says f of x instead of y. Guys, put a y up there. In algebra, you'll learn that f of x is the same as y. It's the same as y. So I left it on there just so you can get used to seeing that. We don't have to know that this year, really, but it's good to learn. So f of x is y. So the change in, look, we're going from -2 to 4. We're going from -2 to 4. So what's the difference in those numbers? From -2 to 4 is 6. Yeah, from -2, think. -2 is 2 below 0, and then up to 4. That's 6. What's the difference in -1 to 2? 3. So what's the rise? 6. What's the run? 3. It's the same thing. The change in y over the change in x. So if these points were graphed, guys, if these points were on a graph, we'd get the same thing. 6 over 3, which equals what? 2. Now, you also could come down here and do, what's the difference between 8 and 10? 2. And the difference in 4 and 5? 1. And what's 2 over 1? 2. So the change in y over the change in x. Change in y over the change in x. Is everybody getting that? Okay, now this next part is the very same thing. The exact same thing, except they're gonna give us coordinates, but they're not gonna be on a table. They're just gonna be as an ordered pair. Look like this. That's all it is. So you're still doing the change in y over the change in x. On your formula chart, you have this written, and it's got y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. And that sounds so hard. It sounds complicated. But guys, it's not. It's not hard at all. You're just doing the same thing you did over there. You're subtracting your 2 y's. You're subtracting the 2 x's. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing. And we're going to do several of these today. So, but let's go do one at the bottom. Okay? So the first thing we need to do is label these. X, Y, X, Y. Come on, guys. Write when I write. X, Y, X, Y. Now, let's go put the numbers in there. This is X1 and Y1. This is X2 and X2. So those numbers only mean that this is the first set of coordinates. This is the second set of coordinates. That's all those 1s and 2s mean. So to find the slope, we're going to go subtract the y's and the x's. So on the top, this is where everybody messes up. This is where everybody messes up. They want to put the x's on. They want to start with that first point right there. But guess what, guys? We're going to start with the last point. We're going to start at the end and work backwards. So we're going to go -6 minus what? -3. We're going to subtract our y's on top, and then our x's on bottom. So what's going to be on bottom? 5 minus 2, isn't it? Stop. So we're going to go -6 minus a -3. And then we're going to subtract our x's on bottom, 5 minus 2. Now we have to keep, change. We're going to write this out this time. In a minute, I'm going to let you just change it on your paper, but we're going to go -6 plus 3. Does everybody see how we got that? Yeah, just a minute. And then 5 minus 2 is 3. Okay, to get the slope, what's -6 plus 3? Good. Over 3 is -1. Guys, if you can divide it and get a whole number, an integer, then you do it. You go do it. 3 divided by 3 is 1. There's one negative. So that's a -1. Because you have to keep, on this right there, you have to keep, when you're subtracting integers, you have to keep, change to a plus, and change the sign. Keep, change, well, you can say keep, change, flip, or really in integers, you say keep, change, but flip is good. I don't care. You're going to keep, change to addition, flip the sign. Good question. Okay. Now, here's the easiest way to get the slope. Y'all ready for the easiest possible way to get the slope? By just looking at the equation. And guys, y equals mx plus b. Y equals mx plus b. I don't know why they did it capital. I'm rewriting it because you're not going to see it that way. And I don't want you to be confused. But m, guys, is your slope. So the coefficient in front of x is always your slope. And the b is always your y. Your y intercept. Good. Thank you. So m is always your slope. And b is always your y-intercept. Now, it can be negative. Y-intercept can be negative, and we're going to get into that later. Okay, now look at the 3 equations at the bottom. Which one of these is proportional? 1, 2, or 3? Which one would represent a proportional relationship? When I say go, everybody's going to say their number. 1, 2, or 3? Which one's proportional? Go.
2, 2. 1.
Yes, Madison, I heard you say 3. Who said 3? Besides Madison? Logan? Okay. Guys, why is 3 proportional? Why is 3 going to be proportional? Y equals x. Why? It's going to start with 0. Look, guys, these are not going to have, if you put 0 in for x, 0 times that is 0. 0 plus 5 is 5. So the coordinate that works there is 0, 5. It's got to go through 0, 0. Y'all told me that last week, didn't you? That it's, y'all knew that last week. That it had to be linear and go through 0, 0. Well, that doesn't. That's going to go through 0, 5. Because of that plus 5 right there. The plus 3, that keeps it from being proportional. Okay, so this is the proportional one. But what's the slope on this one? What's the slope on this first equation? -2. What's the slope on the second one? Good. What's the slope on the last one? No. 1. Guys, the number in front of your x is your slope. The coefficient in front of x is 1 there. That's all it is. I think y'all are trying to make this way too hard. Okay. Close. Oh, well, you don't have to close your spiral. Just put it to the side. your piece of paper that you have out, write page 153 at the top. Page 153 at the top. Okay, you should have page 153 out. Okay, we're on the back of page 152. We're on page 153. We're checking where we did the slope, where we found the slope. So number 2, some people did not get this memo last week. The memo that I said, we're going to go from bottom to top. We're going from bottom to top. We're going from bottom up to the top. So, I'm going to start at B. I'm going to go over how many? No. Oh, goodness. We got to learn to count. Guys, when you start running laps, do you get to start at 1 and say 1? You got to go somewhere to count. So 1, 2, 3. It's -3. Put your numbers on the graph, please. -3. Then we're going up how many? +6, because you're going up. So rise over run. What is 6 divided by 3? No, 6 divided by 3. 6, 2. So it's going to be -2. It's your slope. If you can divide it and get a whole number or an integer, you have to do that. There's one negative, answer's negative. -2. You should have marked out. You should just be checking. You shouldn't be doing this. We did this in class. Number 3, we're going from big, oh, and look, on your table, on those little cards, remember that's a negative slope. We got a negative. Good. Number 3, negative slope. We're going to get a negative, aren't we? So we're going B. We're going over. And look, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's -5. We're going up how many? 3. So 3 over -5. And I'm not making you rewrite that, but one negative means, if there's one negative, the whole thing's negative. So it's -3/5. CK. First row, third one. Okay. Some people I don't think have done 4 and 5. So we're going to skip 4 and 5. Look at number 6. Look at number 6. I'm going to go across to AB. Cross A to B. Look on your card and tell me what kind of slope that's going to have. 0 slope. 0 slope. So let's prove why that works. You're going over 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5. And then do you have to go up any? No. So 0, you're rising 0, you're running 5. What's 0 divided by 5? 0. First one. Okay? Now, on your piece of paper, let's write number 7. We're going to practice finding the slope with 2 points. Let's go X, Y, X, Y. 1, 1, 2, 2. You do not have to do this every time. You do not have to do this every time. If you want to, you may. Okay? So on our paper, we're going to come draw a fraction line. What are we going to start with? 3. So 3 minus 1. We're subtracting the y's on top. And What are we going to subtract on bottom? 5 minus 2. So what's 3 minus 1? And 5 minus 2? 3. So 2/3 is our slope. ET, bottom, top row, third from the right. That's right. Okay, skip a line. Number 8. We're going to subtract the y's on top. So I'm going to subtract. We're starting with the last number. Starting with the last number. 5 minus 3. No, yeah, divided by 2 minus 8. Guys, you're starting with the last point. The y2. Y minus 3. 2 minus 8. What's 5 minus 3? 2. What's 2 minus 8? Good job. And we can reduce this. Now, I know it's going to be negative because there's one negative. What? 2 divided by... No. If you have 2 divided by 6, now nobody's going to get a whole amount. No. You got to reduce that fraction. What goes into 2 into 6? Quit using the calculator. It's not going to do you any good. 2 goes into both of them. That's going to go 1 over 3. 1/3. 2 out of 6 is the same as 1/3. Number 9. Negative 1/3 is, thank you, A cubed, bottom row near towards the middle. Okay, number 9. M equals, remember M represents the slope. M equals. So, what are we going to start with? Negative 2. Yes, thank you. Minus a negative 4. And then on the bottom, 6. Guys, you're about to do 8 by yourself. So I hope to goodness that you are paying attention to what we're doing. Negative 2 minus a negative 4. Because you got to subtract the two numbers. Now, we can keep, change. I'm going to let you just do it right here. Keep, change to addition, change the sign. So what's negative 2 plus 4? Isn't it 2? Okay, and then 6 minus 1? Good, 2/5. First one, second row. Okay, number 10. What am I going to start with? 4 minus 1. And then negative 7 minus a negative 3. Yes, 4 minus 1 is 3. And then keep, change. What's negative 7 plus 3? Isn't it negative 4? Negative 4? Good. Negative 3/4. Excellent. UA, right under IG. Okay? So you're going to keep going. 11 through 18, just like we're doing. If you get mixed up, look back at the one that we did and try to use an example or raise your hand. I'm going to tell you the biggest mistake is doing the X's on top. You start with the very last point. Start with the very last point and subtract. When you finish the 18, then you got to go back and do 4 and 5 if you haven't done that. Any questions? Okay, get busy. Raise your hand if you don't understand.